Newcastle United's first 10 fixtures, yes 10, not our first 5, but our first 10 fixtures of the 23-24 Premier League season, and I'm here today to predict the outcome of all 10 games. First up, Newcastle have Aston Villa at St James's Park, 5:30 kick-off on a Saturday. Oh my god. Opening day of the Prem for both teams, the very first game. What a huge game this could potentially be. It's televised on Sky. You'll love to see it. It's the last game of the day. Start of a new season. Everyone's excited. This is going to be such a big game. Both clubs playing in Europe this season. I can guarantee you now from my predictions video that we're both going to be battling for more European spots. Villa are going to look to get that bit further and try and get to the Champions League this season. Unai Emery's doing a brilliant job. Eddie Howe's doing a brilliant job. And Newcastle are already in the Champions League, hoping to get another consecutive season in the Champions League. This game could be huge. The outcome of this, though, I've got Newcastle winning. I want to be as positive as possible with Newcastle, and I think at home, just the momentum, the aggression we'll come up with, especially after Villa beat us at Villa Park last season. You've got to get some comebacks somewhere. There's got to be a bit of karma for doing that, and I think this is where we do that treatment. We start the season off with a win. We move on to our second game a week later against Manchester City, and it's away from home. Away from home last season wasn't too bad. We lost 2-0. It was a pretty mix and match game, but just the fact that City have Haaland, and I mean they went on to win a bloody Champions League a few months after that. Yeah, the City team always going to beat one. I think we are unfortunately going to lose this game. It's our first loss this season, and it comes in our second game, but I think with us having Champions League this season, I would rather get these bigger games out of the way. Villa, City, Liverpool, Brighton, Brentford, Palace is tough for us. I would rather get all these games out of the way now than have to worry about them in like mid-November, December, where the Champions League's practically going to be in its prime of the group stages. I don't want to be facing these clubs in between them games. If we get it out of the way now, we're fine. Move on to our third game of the season, which is up against Liverpool, and it's at home, St James's Park. The past 2 times, in fact it'll be a lot more than 2 times, but the past 2 times, I have you know, I've went to Liverpool at home. I don't have a season ticket, I'm not a season ticket holder, but thanks to very close pals of mine, I managed to get some tickets to go and see Liverpool at home the past 2 seasons, and we lost both games. 1-0 in the first one and 2-0 in the second. And you guys know what happened in that second one. Fucking Nick Pope's red card, which wiped him out of playing in the Carabao Cup final. I've got us drawn against Liverpool. I would like us to win this game, just eventually. Surely you've got to go and beat Liverpool at some point, especially at home. This new team, just this new system under Eddie Howe's got to work against them at some point. But Liverpool are building something ridiculous, and I think this up-and-coming Liverpool squad is going to be better than what they had when they won the Champions League. I think this squad is just going to be impeccable. They're going to be like very close to only losing maybe 2 to 3 games in this season. They're going to be battling for that title. I think this Liverpool side is going to be tough, but we're going to manage to make sure they drop at least 2 points here, and we're going to take maybe even a 1-1 draw or 2-2, something like that. And into our 4th game of the season, which is another away game, and it's to Brighton. Yet another away game. I would rather just get out of the way. I would not like to travel to Brighton. I think it would be a fucking dreadful trip, especially the past few times we've been there, and you know our record against Brighton always just ended up drawing. Yeah, I would rather get it out of the way as fast as possible, and we did last season. We had Brighton pretty early on last year, but I'm going with another draw. You know what Newcastle like? I think we drew was it 12 games last season or something? We drew just a ridiculous number of games, especially 0-0 draws. I think out of them 12, about 7 of them were 0-0. This could potentially mean just more clean sheets for Nick Pope if it ends 0-0. But it's also we're not picking up that win that we need, and our only win so far has come from Villa. City, Liverpool, obviously some tough games there. We'll pick up a point against Liverpool. Brighton, we're going to pick up a point against. We move on to our 5th game this season at home at Brentford. Brentford, I feel like, could struggle pretty badly this season. Without Ivan Toney, it's pretty obvious. I'm going to go with 3 points here for Newcastle. We're first win in 3 games. We're second win the season. Both the games that we've won so far have been at home. Then we have another home game. Straight after that, our 6th game of the season is Sheffield United. Sorry, we were actually away against Sheffield United. And I'm going to say another win. I know it could practically be a pretty tough place to go, Bramall Lane, but I can't see Newcastle dropping points to Sheffield United this season. I'm going to go with another 3 points there, and that puts us up to 9 points in our first 6 games. On to the 7th game, we've got Burnley at home. This time we are actually at home. Burnley at home, 2 promoted teams back to back, and I'm not going to complain. It's going to be another 3 points. We're going to sweep Burnley. I'm predicting Burnley to have a pretty good first season back, but when it comes to levels like playing against Newcastle, Liverpool City, they're going to struggle. We then travel to the London Stadium to play West Ham. Terrible place to go. What an awful stadium. I'm going to take a draw. I know we just hammered them like 5-0 or 5-1 there last season. But with the circumstances, and I feel like West Ham are going to have a pretty solid season. I've predicted them to come 9th in the Prem. I think they're going to give us a pretty good game. Our 9th game this season, we're back at home and we're playing Crystal Palace. Usually we either just draw 1-1 or 0-0 with Crystal Palace, and we have done the past few games that we've played against them. But this time, we're going to beat them, and I think this time we're going to hammer Crystal Palace. I'm speaking 5, maybe even 6, potentially even 7-0. It's at home. The last game that we won was against Burnley. We had that draw against West Ham. Eddie Howe will be like, you know what, all them players need to kick up the arse. Unacceptable draw to West Ham, not good enough. We're going to come out against Palace, show what we're made of, show the ability in this squad. Finally, our 10th fixture of the season is Wolves away. We struggled there last season, actually. We only picked up a point, and it was a 1-1 draw. St. Maximin with a brilliant volley from outside the box. I'm going to go with a win, and that win will put us up to 21 points out of a possible 30 in the first 10 games. I don't think that's bad. We've won 6 out of a possible 10. We've drawn 3 out of a possible 10. We've only lost 1 game in 10. I don't think that's bad. This puts our record after the 10 games as 6-3-1. I honestly don't think that's a bad start to the season. 6 wins in 10. I'm going to probably predict that all them draws are clean sheets, hopefully, for Nick Pope. So you're looking at 0-0 draws. Pretty boring games, but clean sheets matter. But yeah, 21 points out of 30. Where do you think that would have us placed in the table? I think most likely maybe even just outside the top 4, if not in the top 4. What do you guys think about these first 10 games? Please smash that like button. Make sure you comment down below what you think the outcomes of these games are going to be. And if you're enjoying the content on this YouTube channel, please smash that like button yet again. We need as many likes as possible, people. It's brilliant feedback on my videos. Yeah, I'll see you in the next one.